Hey, it's Tammy, Crafty Mompreneur. If you're new, welcome. If you're not, welcome back. Today is episode 3 of this scrap bag project. And I initially was going to just have this be like one video and one and done. But when I realized how much yarn was in this bag, I knew it was going to be more of a series. In today's video, I'm sharing with you what all I've made from the bag of scrap yarn since our last video, showing you how much we have left and giving you, just an update. Let's just get right to it. I first started out sorting all of the yarn. And once I got that done, then I could kind of spread it out and see kind of what I was working with. I will be continuing to market prep items from the rest of the yarn. I think I'm going to maybe try and roll it up in balls and use that trick that people were saying with barrettes to hold the ends so that I can put it back in the bag and it won't get all tangled up again. I'm gonna go track down some barrettes. Hopefully I have some in with my craft supplies when I was gonna, make barrettes and bows and things like that. I did that years and years ago when my daughters were little. And I think I still have some of that crafting stuff left. We'll go look for that and then I can get the rest of that yarn picked up. These are the ones I'm looking for. Just a second. I found this. I found them. Oh, look, little baby ones. All right, so what I'm doing is I'm just rolling up the ones that have a ball and threading the end down so that it doesn't get unraveled like that. And then someday I'll get a yarn winder. And then I think like with ones like this, I'm just gonna put it in a plastic bag. I got all those done. Oh, there's one more right here. So all of these have the little barrette on them to hold the end. And so those should not come undone. And now for the rest of these, I had some old plastic bags that I'm not using anymore, but I'm just gonna put these. I just don't feel like rolling anymore. So here's our bag with all of our sorted yarn. Here is what I have left from the Scrappy Bear. This is what I had left that didn't really go with anything. So I have this, and then I still have this entire bag of scrap yarn. So I'm going to dump this out onto the table. So this is the yarn we're going to be pulling from this week as we are going to continue market prepping. This is all the yarn from that bag that I originally sorted in the first video of this series. And then this bowl is from what was left from the Scrappy Bear that I did in episode 2. We're going to use the spinning wheel to decide what to crochet. And then we'll come over here and find a yarn. And if there's not a yarn that works, we'll do it scrappy style. So that's the plan. This mini dragon was one that I've had in my pattern library for quite a while, and I thought that this green and this tealish would be perfect for it. started crocheting and realized that this pattern is in UK terminology, so I had to rip out the wings that I made and redo them. But in the end, I guess the note here is to make sure that you read through the pattern completely before starting. I went ahead and got the rest of it made. And this is the little cuddle dragon. He's a snuggler, so he's an unstuffed body, and he's super cute. Did I share this one? Did I share this? Why am I feeling like I already shared him? I did. Oh, because it was in my pattern roundup video. Okay, so yeah, if you saw my pattern roundup video for snugglers, you have seen this guy, but again, he deserves another cameo because he is so cute, and he was made out of scrap yarn. So in one of my previous videos, I did have someone ask how I knot the legs on my Mama Made Minis snugglers. So I thought I would use this part of the video to just demonstrate how I do that with this little mini scrappy bear. Once both legs have been crocheted, take the foot, and I usually knot it by going to the right hand side and then looping it towards the middle, making the knot towards the middle on this leg. And if you stuff the foot, it won't go through this hole very well. So you just stuff that through there. Once you can pull the foot through, you pull it down a little bit and then adjust the knot. Now, some people like the knot in the front. Some people like it kind of the straight part in the back, and that is really just personal preference. But I do like to try and make them look the same. This one, you go the same direction. So you go towards the outside and around, and then bring the foot up through the middle. So you just kind of adjust it, and I don't like to pull mine very tight. Like, I don't make a super tight knot, but then you just kind of adjust it the way that you like it, and that's how I do it. So this is the final Scrappy Bear, the mini version. I honestly don't love the way his eyes turned out. I made them too big, I think. But there's a look at mini Scrappy Bear. And to give you a little bit of a comparison, here's the big Scrappy Bear and here's the little one. And what I think is so funny, because I did do this one kind of blindly also, where I closed my eyes and picked the yarn. I think it's hilarious that the heads both came out that way. Like, it's just weird how it came out that way. I essentially did it the same, but before I put all the yarn in the bowl, I did break apart some of the bigger chunks because I didn't, like this color right here, I didn't want the whole bear to be that color. And so that was the only difference from when I did this blind crochet whatever to this one. But I think it turned out cute, minus the eyes. I don't love them, but here is the little finished loaf cat. So cute. I ended up going with a gray face and then just like the speckled yarn. This is the Anne Caraway Arts loaf cat pattern. here is where I am with little Rivy rabbit. I got his legs done. These are so cute. Look at these little rabbit's feet. So cute. And I still need to make the arms. And this is all the yarn I have left. So I'm going to divide this yarn in half and make the first one and see if I have enough. I just straightened out the yarn and then added this little marker here to see how much it's gonna take. So if I get past this marker, then I don't have enough. So I'm gonna make that arm and then I'll come back and show you where I'm at. So I just finished the first arm, I guess, and I am right there. So I just barely had enough. So yay. I just probably have to find another yarn for his tail, which I think it recommends a different yarn too, so I think we're good. This is all the scrap yarn that I have left from this project. So I'm excited. Now I need to go find a tail color. Okay, so I could do something like this, because it would kind of go with, I think that's what I'm gonna do. Something like this. Maybe this. Ooh, that could be fun. I think I'm gonna go with this. Yeah, definitely this for a little cottontail. I didn't want to put specific snugglers on my spinning wheel because of my yarn choices were very limited. When I looked at my yarn that I had available, I figured that I had enough to make this snuggler rabbit. Lo and behold, I did have enough, so thank goodness. It was really close though. Like I literally went down to the wire on the cream and in hopes of having enough. I even had to find a little scrap that was in like a scrap pile that I had to make sure that I had enough. But it turned out super cute. I was struggling with the little like eyelashes on this one, but I do think it turned out pretty cute. But then his little tail, I had to use a different kind of yarn. So I just used this like fuzzy yarn, but it works. Like I think it works. And then it's just a knotted snuggler from Mama Made Minis. I gotta tell you, these little feet, they're really cute. And when I was crocheting them, I had a lot of like increase, decrease, blah, blah, blah. But I think the result is very cute. I mean, and I think it'll be like, I know this will probably sell pretty quickly at my market because bunnies usually do. It's just cute. Ba, ba, ba. My bunny from scrap yarn turned out pretty cute. Here's a little update of what the scrap yarn is looking like. I'm currently working on a snuggler rabbit that I'm doing in like a cream colored. Might need to use that because I'm not sure I'm gonna have enough. And I'm gonna jump on the treadmill. Yes, I sometimes crochet on the treadmill, but I take really simple projects. And so one of the spins that I got yesterday was for a gummy bear, which is a pretty simple project. I don't love the color selections that I have here. And I already have a blue one. I already have a purple one. So I'm thinking, I think I'm just gonna do this red, white, and blue gummy bear because I've done that before and it sells. So I might also do that green. No, I think I'm just gonna go with this and see if I can get a gummy bear out of this. All right, here is the gummy bear, and this is what I have left. And it took me 13, 14 minutes. So it'll be about, once I stuff it, less than 20 minutes to make a little gummy bear. I was planning to do 30 minutes on the treadmill, so I am gonna see if I can get a gummy bear out of this. If I can't, if it's close, there's some more on the table I can use. So let's see what I can get. This is where I made it with that little bit of yarn. So I'm gonna go grab the other green and finish off this little guy. And we are at 24 minutes. All right, I finished the other gummy bear with that yarn down there. So in my 30-minute walk, that's I wrote down the pattern. Hooking hand, Creations is the one for the gummy bear pattern, and 32 minutes. So had I not had to change yarns, they're about a 15-minute project for me on the treadmill. So it's a win-win. I'm casually walking on the treadmill. I will occasionally grab some project that's very simple, and for me that's usually either maple chickens or one that I know pretty well. I went ahead and grabbed some yarn from the table and jumped on the treadmill and ended up making 2 little gummy bears. Well, they were crocheted on the treadmill, and then I finished stuffing them and everything afterwards. But I did get 2 gummy bears out of scrap yarn. Okay, so I got squid on the wheel, and so I'm thinking of just kind of combining some colors and maybe doing this for the body and the 2 of the tentacle things, and then doing these in the other tentacles. I think, yeah, that'll work. I wanted to try and use up some of the smaller things of yarn, and what I decided to do was do a squid with multicolored tentacles. So I think it turned out cute, and you know, I was able to use up some of the smaller bits of yarn. Well, okay, not really use up, but I used some. Over the weekend, our family went out to this balloon festival that was happening in our neighborhood, literally like 5 or 10 minutes from our house. The crochet artist that was there was Refined Vibes, and she has a really massive following here on YouTube. Decided to go and like introduce myself, and I'm not super like outgoing, if you know what I mean. I am actually more reserved, and I guess maybe that's why I like YouTube, because I just feel like I'm talking to a camera and pretend like there's people there, but there's not really anyone there. Do you know what I mean? I was brave and I went and I introduced myself, because I mean, like, you know, she has like 70,000 followers, right? Like, that's a lot. And like, she was super cool and nice, and I loved her setup. I mean, she had a ton of stuff. My daughter was looking around and kind of pointing out things that she thought was really cute, and I was just chit-chatting a little bit with Larissa. And one of the things that my daughter saw that she said was super cute was this laying down goose. I just did a search on Instagram for goose crochet pattern. I don't know if it's exactly the same pattern that she used, and I came across this pattern here. It looks very similar to the one that she had. Then I looked at my yarn choices, and I did not have any yarn that was white, because I had used the cream on the bunny. So I had to get a little creative for the goose. Now, yes, I could have like spun again and, you know, got something else that I could crochet, but I was like, you know what? No, I'm just going to take on the challenge, and we're going to make a goose out of whatever I could. I present to you my gray goose. It's like the laying down, sleeping gray goose. And I will tell you, the pattern, it worked out pretty good, but you can tell that I used different shades of gray with this goose. Like, his neck looks like it's a different color than his wings. But I think I used like 3 different balls of yarn, of little balls of gray yarn, to try and make this work. In the pattern, it tells you to go to the bottom of the head at a certain point before you start making this part, and I accidentally didn't do that part right. So my goose lays like this, but this is supposed to be its belly, and it's supposed to lay like this. So he's kind of upside down, but I was like, you know what, like, I'm just gonna put his legs on this side so that when he lays down, his head will be right. It's really not that big of a deal, I don't think, because I would imagine people are just gonna like carry it around. It's kind of funny though. Have you guys ever made this goose? Like, I want to make it up in mallard colors and see how it does, and then actually make it like the right way and see how it looks. But I mean, when I was making it, I just felt like this flat side was where it would be laying down. I don't know. You guys will have to just tell me what you think. Okay, I've got on my spinner, I got my bigger octo pattern. It's for my $10 octo that I'm gonna do a tutorial for, but I wanna see if this is enough yarn to make my octo. So I'm gonna go for it and see, because I actually don't know how many grams of yarn it takes to make it. And so this will be a good test to see if this, see if this yarn is enough. Oh, look at that. There's just all kinds of stuff in this yarn. So I'm gonna go weigh this and see how much is here. Oops, I already started. I'm gonna go weigh this and see how much is here, and then we're gonna make it on time lapse, and we'll see. I'm not feeling very good about this because this is 59 grams of Bernette blanket, and I don't know if that's enough for my octo pattern. So let's make it and we will find out. Okay, I just did a whole little explanation about my little octo here on time lapse. So that was fun. But anyways, I will go over why I love this little octo pattern that I designed. Backstory is I was sitting at a market, and it was a Friday, and it was a 2-day market, and Friday it was dead. It was so slow. And all I had brought with me was some Bernette blanket yarn and obviously a crochet hook. But I did not bring eyes, and I did not bring stuffing. I'm not sure why. I wasn't thinking. Anyways, I sat down and I was like, well, I want to design a pattern that would be easy to batch prep for market prep. And so this is my all-in-one little octo that you can make a whole bunch of. You don't have to attach or reattach the yarn. You just make the whole thing. And then you can put the eyes in, and then you can stuff them and close them up. And it's like an all-in-one octo. So I am currently just perfecting the pattern, and I'm going to be writing it up, but it'll be a free tutorial here on YouTube when I get it done, and then there'll be a PDF version that you can buy if you want to spend just a couple dollars. I did have enough yarn. This is what I had left, and now I'll be able to weigh this and see how many grams it took of Bernette blanket to make my octo. It's my all-in-one octo is what I'm calling it. I was hoping that I would have enough. I had enough. See, I had made this cat, but I'm actually going to be doing something fun with this. So stay tuned for that. It's going to be a big project that I undertake with this little all-in-one octo. So that's it. That is everything that I've made since my last video. So here's a little overview of everything. I think what I want to do now is show you what yarn I have left. So I'm not even sure what is going to happen with these tiny scraps, but then I went ahead and balled up all the rest. These are the bigger balls that I have. There's this and that. This bag is the Parfait Chunky that I really don't even want to use. This is like black, so I can make something out of that. This is like that weird light purplish gray. It's not white. I don't know if it looks that way on camera. So I can probably make something bigger with that. I still have a lot of this maroon color, and I'm hoping to make a shark out of this. So that is all we have left, you guys. It's so crazy. This has been a super fun challenge, and I'm excited to see what else I can make over the next week. My plan is to try and get all of this used up aside from that parfait chunky bag, before my market on February 9th or 8th. So my video next Friday will be episode 4 of this series, and we'll see how far I get with this yarn. At one of your guys' suggestions, I will be doing a final tally at the end of this series to let you know how much all of the stuff that I've made with the scrap yarn is worth. So that will come, fingers crossed, with the last episode, which will be next Friday. So that's going to do it for today's video. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe, because Sunday is Granny Square Sunday, and I am definitely finishing that work in progress bag this week. So stay tuned for that. And as always, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye. And I'm going to share okay, the next thing, so my scrap bunny yarn, Saturday night, no, hold on, mounts. Somehow, I gotta say that.